Yesterday on the show, we had a brief segment about the solar eclipse that crossed America and the pandemonium it inspired. We ended by mentioning that President Trump had ignored countless warnings from NASA and health officials and gazed directly at the sun without special glasses or eye protection of any kind. It was, and we noted at the time, a watershed event in American history. Even the president saw it, but in a move that is not a complete surprise, he looked directly at the sun without any glasses. Perhaps the most impressive thing any president's ever done. So there you had the President of the United States beating the very axis of the solar system in a staring contest. Top that Louisiana Purchase, Emancipation Proclamation, Normandy Invasion, Interstate Highway System. You can't. Because as we said, it's the single most impressive thing a president has ever achieved. Now, luckily, many in the media were watching last night, and they instantly understood that we were not kidding at all. There was no irony or sarcastic inflection in what we said, because we're every bit as self-serious and humor deficient as any Washington journalist, and probably almost as dumb. We were, indeed, lavishing praise on a politician for staring at the sun. Nathan McDermott of CNN understood that immediately and provided video to silence doubters who suspected we might be joking. Claire Phipps of The Guardian wasn't fooled either, as she explained at length to her readers, nor writers at HuffPo, Mediaite, or GQ, all of whom wrote pieces about it. Brooke Binkowski, the managing editor of Snopes.com, went on Twitter to assure the public that, quote, "This is not satire. This is not satire. This is not satire." Well, given that Snopes is one of a handful of outlets working with Facebook to decide what stories are, quote, fake news and should be suppressed, it's impressive that Binkowski was able to know the truth without even bothering to contact us to check, because that's journalism. Speaking of journalism, it is time for a Fox News alert. Lost in the excitement over yesterday's remarkable sun-staring feat were several other pieces of Donald Trump-related news, and we'd like to bring those to you now. We will speak slowly for the benefit of those Washington-based journalists who might be watching tonight. First, the National Institutes of Health has announced that Donald Trump's tears can cure human disease. Unfortunately for science, Donald Trump has never once cried. Meanwhile, Apple says it has designed a new presidential version of its popular iPhone. This model comes with no backspace button because Donald Trump does not make mistakes. Nor does the device have a clock, since Donald Trump decides what time it is. Also, some sad news to tell you tonight. While golfing at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida last week, President Trump was bitten by an exotic and deadly Eurasian pit viper. Unfortunately, after 5 excruciating days, the snake has died. We're going to leave it to licensed journalists to decide whether those are actual Donald Trump stories or whether they're Chuck Norris jokes.